in reverse order for each ward and each office that they're running for. They do have bathrooms if you need facilities right back behind you across the creek. The restroom facilities there. If it does begin to rain and we have to stop here, the Civic Center is set up for us to stop here and reconvene over there. I do encourage you to, after the event, to stick around and speak with the candidates, ask them your questions, anything that arises from the discussion tonight, so that you can learn and make the most informed decision come Election Day. But thank you all for coming out, and we're thankful for a little bit cooler weather. We're going to begin tonight by having Boy Scout Troop 19 present the colors and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So I'd ask everybody to please stand. Troop 19, please present the colors.
Color Guard, advance. Color Guard, prepare to post the colors. Color Guard, post the colors. May you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Scouts, salute by the numbers. 1. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color Guard, about face. Color Guard, dismissed. You may be seated.
Thank you very much. And to lead us in our invocation tonight, we have Chaplain O.J. Johnson. O.J. is a member of the Millbrook Men's Club, a pastor with Lake Elam, a Baptist church here, and also a chaplain with the Millbrook Police Department. Chaplain Johnson, thank you very much.
Bow with me, if you please. Our Father and our God, we praise you for everything that you do. We thank you for the wonderful community called Millbrook. We thank you for the men and women of goodwill who have come out to share their vision on how to lead this great municipality. Lord, we pray that they are able to share without rancor, without anger, without distraction. We pray, Lord, that we would receive their words and be thoughtful as to who might do best about our community. Lord, we ask that you bless each and every one of them and their families. We ask that you continue to bless the servants of this city, the police, the fire department, all those who work to make us safe and secure. And we pray, Lord, that you will continue to bless the city of Millbrook and the surrounding communities. We ask all these things in the blessed name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior, and the saints of God said amen.
Amen. Thank you, OJ. Again, we're going to be monitoring the weather. So if you need to, you can make a run for it, but we will be watching, and hopefully this is all going to pass by us. We do encourage you to maintain social distancing while you're out and about, and over by the flagpole is a large box from the Emergency Management Office. They've provided a big box of masks if anybody needs a mask to wear. You're welcome to help yourself there. We're beginning tonight with the candidates for mayor of Millbrook. By coin flip beforehand, the order was established, and our first speaker tonight for a 5-minute presentation is Mr. Tim Love. Mr. Love.
Give me just a second. Yes. Is this mic on? Okay.
All right, I'm beginning the time now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pastor Bowman. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim Love, and I am the 2020 challenger for Millbrook Mayor. What prompted Tim Love, a political nobody, to get involved in the political arena? But more importantly than that, what is it about Tim Love that should prompt you as a voter to give consideration to when you go to the polls and vote on August the 25th? My campaign slogan speaks clearly and directly to both of those questions. A new mayor, a new vision, and a new direction is more than just a slogan. It is what myself and many other Millbrook residents believe. A new mayor is about bringing to an end the career politics here in Millbrook. I am someone that is a staunch supporter of term limits for all elected officials on all levels of government. In fact, the term limits that I believe in are half what my opponent has already served. I believe that career politics are about control, power, money, and intimidation. And it doesn't matter if it's on the national, state, or local level, career politics are typically all the same. They're bad for our country, our state, and our city. My opponent is a six-term, 24-year career politician. And as such, myself and many other residents believe that it's time for a new mayor. A new vision is about diversity. Millbrook has between 16 and 18,000 residents, with 6,000 to 8,000 residents being minorities. Yet there isn't a single minority they can't hear it. There's not a single minority in a position of leadership as a department head in our city. That leads myself and many others to believe that there is a lack of diversity here in Millbrook. Now, you may disagree with that statement, and if you do, you are probably in the majority, part of a system that believes if it isn't broken, why fix it? Or you just simply haven't spent any time with the minorities here in our city. It is that lack of diversity, it is that perceived existence of a good old boy system, and the old school mindset by a career politician that leads myself and many others to believe it is time for a new vision. A new direction is about growth and options. You need not look any further than our neighbors to the east and west to find a vision and direction of growth. One neighbor is half our size, while the other neighbor was financially broke 10 to 12 years ago. Yet today, both of those neighbors are beating Millbrook in growth and development. Millbrook deserves to have more options of dining and shopping, entertainment values that are family-oriented, and recreational options for our youth that are affordable for all families. You shouldn't have to drive under the interstate or across the river bridge to enjoy a quality of life we should have right here in Millbrook. And if you look at the last 10 to 12 years at the limited amount of growth here in Millbrook versus the vast amount of growth in the river region in that same time, it is that lack of growth, that lack of quality of life for all, and the mindset by an old school career politician that leads myself and many other residents to believe it is time for a new direction. I believe that the 2020 Millbrook mayor's race is simple. You have an independent business owner versus someone that works for corporate America. You have a political upstart versus a career politician. A career politician who once told me in a private meeting that he will protect his city employees with all that he can. I believe that was political spin for I'll protect the good old boys at all costs, to which he has, no doubt, at the taxpayer's expense. The biggest lawsuits in our city's history have come during my opponent's 24-year tenure. Lawsuits that have not only caught the attention of, but gotten the involvement of the Department of Justice, as well as cost the taxpayers of Millbrook millions, according to the experts that I've spoken with. 2020 is about moving Millbrook away from a career politician and the good old boy system. It's about moving Millbrook toward a future with a business leader that has operated multi-million-dollar markets all over the Southeast. A business leader who believes in holding his employees accountable, not protecting them at all costs. The future for Millbrook needs love, not a career politician. If you believe the same as I and many other Millbrook residents, then tonight I humbly ask that you please vote Tim Love for Millbrook Mayor on August the 25th. Thank you.
Our second speaker for the opening 5 minutes for mayor is the incumbent in the office, Mayor Al Kelly.
Thank you, Brandon, and I want to thank the Millbrook Men's Club for putting on this event. You know, 24 years ago today, I stood in front of the Millbrook Men's Club and hundreds of other people over there at the Millbrook Memorial Center. This same type of event, and I appreciate the Men's Club and what they've done for this community all these years. You know, we didn't have a civic center then to fall back on. We didn't have a village green that we could really do anything with like this event tonight. We didn't have any venues like that. We held it at the Millbrook Memorial Center. I had a message that night, and I'm going to keep that message tonight. I'm not going to change anything. I had a message from Millbrook to stop looking in the rearview mirror. Let's move forward. We've done that. I don't understand where this no growth situation comes from. I don't know where this term limit stuff comes from. I don't set term limits. The Alabama legislature does. I want you to look where we've been, and I want you to continue to look forward where we're going to go. I had the opportunity this morning to do a radio show, and turned out very well. And just, you know, we was talking about things that have happened in Millbrook. Yes, we've grown tremendously. I don't know where the other stuff is coming from. The fields at 17 Springs is a tremendous venue that's going to be available to all the citizens of Millbrook. And what it's going to do even more of that, it's going to bring in tourism. It's going to bring in economic development. It's going to bring in all the things that we need to bring in. We're working, just started a few weeks ago, working with an organization called the Central Alabama Community College. They have presented to us the fact that they want to have a facility, not just an office. They want a campus. They want a campus. They want it on I-65. They want it in Millbrook or Prattville. And it doesn't really matter in the end who gets that, whether it be Millbrook or Prattville. It doesn't matter. What it matters is for our kids in school, those kids that need that workforce development that our community college system provides. We're working very hard. Kerry Cox is back there. We've worked very hard. We're going to make a presentation. We're going to try to get that Central Alabama Community College in Millbrook. But if we don't, that's okay, because our kids may have to ride under the interstate a little bit. I'm sorry. You know, they may have to ride up there for a couple of minutes to go to school. They may have to go there to learn to be a welder. They may learn to be an HVAC. They may learn to be an electrician. Doesn't matter. What matters is we're trying to provide the best for our people and our kids. We can sit here and talk about the non-growth that supposedly is going on. Look around you. Just look around you. Look at the Waffle House. Look at the Hibachi Express. Taco Bell is going to open Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. Look at Popeyes. It's going to be building right next to Taco Bell. Look at construction going right next to Zaxby's. You'll see Eliano's, one of the better coffee shops around anywhere from what I understand. I'm not one of those that drinks a whole lot of that. The Neighborhood Grill out of Clanton has chosen Millbrook to be their first new facility. They have a tremendous following in Clanton, and they will have a tremendous following in Millbrook. The Rex Food Truck Park over here, right across the creek over here. It's going to be food trucks. They're specializing in food trucks. They'll be doing all kinds of things over there at that old building. They've really remodeled it. They've put a great deal of money in it, and they're looking for Millbrook to support them. We've got 3 big subdivisions that are going right now. Camden's Cove, right up here on Grandview, got 94 lots. Sherwood Forest, up off of Highway 14, 60 lots. Steel Creek subdivision that will be next to Camden Cove up there, 115 lots. I don't understand where the non-growth is. We pull for Prattville. We pull for us. We pull for Montgomery. We pull for the river region. We pull together. We compete with each other each and every day. Each and every day. If we land something, that's great for us. If they land something, that's great for them. Hope you benefit. I'm sorry you have to ride up under a road to get there. The senior center, right over here. We've bought a tremendous amount of property over the last couple of years. The senior center will be it's already bid out. We're still working on some things on that. Road projects. You know, I want to thank these gentlemen right down here, the couple of them, Rabbit Cover and Ray Stringer, Millbrook Men's Club. These were the guys that were here 24 years ago. They were here 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It's people like that make our community great, and it's people like you that's going to make it greater. So thank you for being with us tonight. I appreciate each and everything that you do. And if I can ever help you, my door is always open.
Thank you, Mayor Kelly. We move on to the candidates. We have 3 candidates in the race for City Council, Ward 1, by coin flip, a 3-way coin flip. Our first speaker tonight will be the incumbent, and it's Councilwoman in Ward 1, Councilwoman Olivia Venable. Ma'am.
I will. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is such a blessing to be in such a nice venue like our Millbrook Village Green. Many thanks to the Millbrook's Men's Club for offering this opportunity and this forum for us, and especially for our citizens here in Millbrook, so that you all can get to know the people who are in head of government here in your town. Well, I am, again, Olivia Venable. I'm a lifelong resident of Millbrook. I'm one of 6 offsprings from Matthew and Julia Jackson, came to support me tonight. My aunt Darian, and there's 6 of us. So when I say born and bred here, we are all lifelong members, except for a little small time at another church of Good Ship Missionary Baptist Church. And above that, and most importantly, we're born again Christians. So I had to put that out there, because in this era of COVID, we got to remember who we are. So when I say that I love Millbrook, I truly love Millbrook. I am a retired senior. I am a retired worker. I used to be the employer at the city of Millbrook as the building and zoning clerk. So when I say I have seen Millbrook just grow in the last 12 years, just so much until it's hard to keep up, I'm really being honest with you. We have such a vast variety of people that live here, because people who live in Millbrook, not all like me who are born and bred here, people move here and they live here and stay here because a lot of them retire from Maxwell Garner and then they make their home in Millbrook. So to me that says Millbrook is not just special to us hometown folks. Millbrook is special to a lot of people from a lot of areas all over the country. When I decided that it was time to retire after 27 years, on top of my bucket list was to run for city council, because I felt like the experience working with the public and in the public, seeing government from behind the scenes, helped prepare me to be ready to roll my sleeve up and work for the government out in the public, more than just, behind the desk. So, top of my bucket list, checked it off, and won my first election, very proud of that. And I feel like if, you all have me for the next 4 years, there's so many things that has gotten started with this council group that I would really, really like to be a part of to finish. One being, we really do have a vision for the downtown area. The downtown area is the old town part of Millbrook. Every city, every state got a old town area. What we've seen in other cities, we've been aware that in time Millbrook needs to do the same thing, where you will have privately owned businesses that are more like specialty shops and more of an area for local business people who want to invest in their city will have an opportunity then to be an entrepreneur right here in their own town. There's so many areas that we could use, small shops like, a barber shop. We have 2 that's located down here recently. Things like, hey, an ice cream shop. Things like a florist. That's what the area of Old Town is what I call it, but it is the original part of Millbrook. It's the part of Millbrook that made Millbrook happen. So yes, my plan, my vision is to, along with the mayor and council, whomever it is, me or not, really heavy lift to try and get our downtown area up and going where to be really attractive and really pretty for people to want to own businesses. When I say it's an opportunity for us as Millbrookians, we know what each other like. So good investment opportunities for these downtown areas, which starts right about down where Dollar General Smokehouse is, all the way up to where the red light is at the old City Hall. In closing, I do want to echo that, yes, we are going to build a brand new senior center right across the street from City Hall, and I want to invite each and every one of you who are still young at heart to come on and be a part of our senior program. I thank you for the time and opportunity. My door is always open. I really don't be behind doors. I'm out in the public all the time. Come up to me, call me, speak, whatever you need to do, but I am available and I'm ready to go to work for you. Thank you for your time and good evening.
We have been watching the weight radar, and it does look like this cell is moving well east of us. It's rumbling, but I think we're safe. We got several pastors in the crowd, so we'll claim credit for praying it away. All right. Our next speaker is a candidate for City Council, Ward 1, also, Miss Jacqueline Thomas. Miss Thomas, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I said good evening, everybody. I come before you tonight confident in my ability to serve this community, confident in my love for this community, and confident in my desire to serve this community. I am proud to be a daughter of Millbrook. At an early age, my father, Richard Long, who served on the city council for numerous years, shared with me his love for this great city and his faith in how great the city of Millbrook could be. He taught me to look beyond myself and to be aware of the needs of all people. That faith and in that vision is what has guided me today. I grew up here. I married my husband here and met him. I graduated from the great Stanhope Elmore High School, class of '89. Here we go, way to go Mustangs. I met my worship here. I've taught, given my service to the community for over 23 years as a first grade teacher and then a kindergarten teacher at Casada Elementary School, which is my greatest blessing, because if you know me, then you know that I love children, and you know that I believe that they are the future of this community, and I am blessed to have had the opportunity to impact positively and empower so many children in this area. This city has blessed me. It's truly blessed me. It's given me so much, and I simply want to pay it forward. It's my desire to work collaboratively and collectively with the City Council to continue to create initiatives that will enhance and improve the quality of living for all of the citizens in Millbrook, and especially in Ward 1, which is the ward which I would hope you would allow me to represent. I'm asking you today to allow me to be your servant leader for Ward 1 in Millbrook. As you all know, a servant performs duties for other people, and a leader inspires other people to do good by their actions. As your city council person, I will learn and work so that you see progress and have a hope for your children and for the future in the city of Millbrook. After all, it's not about a title for me. I'm passionate about this. This is something that I have wanted to do all of my life. I feel like I have been called to act and called to serve. I will be available to you to talk to you. Your concerns are my concerns. There's no problem that's too small or too big. I am very approachable. And I mean, this city, I'm invested in this city. My kids are in this city. And I mean, I'm invested in the kids in this community. I just love the city of Millbrook, and it's my hope to be a part of the continued development that's happening right here to bring some fresh vision and new vigor to this area. It will be my duty to connect with you as often as possible. I feel like as a leader in your ward, it's my job to know what's going on in Ward 1. You know, and I hope that people would come and tell me, and I really have a goal of involving more people in city government because, you know, and including myself, I haven't been as much involved, but I'd like to, you know, create a fire, to create a new interest in city government and have more people active in what's going on and participating. I'm from this community. I'm invested in this community, and especially in Ward 1. And I plan to use my voice to elevate yours. I humbly ask for your support and your vote on August 25th. If you'd like to follow me, I do have a Facebook page. You can connect with me on there. It's Jacqueline Thomas for City Council. And I thank you for your time, your support, and your prayers. Have a good day.
Our third candidate tonight for Millbrook City Council Ward 1 is Miss Joyce Lloyd Davis. Miss Lloyd Davis, welcome.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Good evening. I first of all want to thank Pastor Bowman and the Men's Club for doing an awesome job of putting this together. And then I want to thank each and every one of you who have assembled out here today to be a part of the process. Because, see, it's important for you to come, to hear, to know, to be involved, and know who and why they want to represent you in the city of Millbrook. I've been on the campaign trail all of this year, 2020. And the premises of my platform has been based on understanding who I am and what I want to do, and it's a 3-word premises. And those words are experience, education, and passion. I am experienced to serve in this community. I had the pleasure and opportunity to serve on the council from 2012 to 2016. During that time I was on the council, I had the opportunity to work with the mayor and the council on many economic development projects that you see that have come to fruition in our city today. I had the opportunity to work individually with citizens as we went out, and I physically looked at their drainage issues. I looked at the issues that were in potholes, roads, all of those things, and work with them individually to get those things done for those individual citizens in the community. I also had the opportunity to work with the Community Improvement Association under the presidency of Maurice Mays to help get the CBDG grant for the Community Improvement Association so they could make some necessary renovations to their property. I would like to see Millbrook get other CBDG grants for things that we can do to improve our city in Millbrook, like perhaps the renovation of downtown Millbrook. I also was very proud that I worked with Mayor Kelly at the time to get Mini Massey Park established in our community. We have beautiful parks in Millbrook. Mini Massey Park added to the beautification of the city of Millbrook. And one of the things I was most proud of was being able to establish quarterly ward meetings, because I believe that it is important for us to be involved and understand what's happening in our city. We had quarterly ward meetings so that citizens could share their concerns Even share with me what's working in our city. I could take that information back to the mayor and the council, and then I could be a conduit so that the citizens would understand what's happening in the city. I would share with them things that are going on in the city, things that we're looking at, projects that we're looking at, so that the citizens are informed of what's happening, because we must be informed in our community. And then the education piece, that just talks about who I am. I'm a nurse practitioner by trade, and I have been formally prepared to be a leader. Because I've been formally prepared to be a leader, I pursued a master's degree in business management, and I have a terminal degree. I have a doctorate from the University of Alabama. So roll tide to all the Roll Tide fans out there. And then the last thing I want to talk about is my passion to lead. And I don't need notes to talk about that, because I grew up here in Millbrook. I am a native of this community. I'm invested in this community. I raised my family in this community, and I care about the quality of life in Millbrook. I care about the safety in Millbrook. I care about your roadways in Millbrook. I care about economic development in our city. I care about the issues that the citizens of Millbrook care about. And I want to be that voice so that I am able to take our concerns, take the things that are working, work collaboratively with the mayor and the council so that we can continue to move Millbrook forward. I want to be a caring leader. I want to take your issues, and I want to be that voice. So on August the 25th, I very humbly ask you to go out and vote for Joyce Lloyd Davis. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lloyd Davis. Let's give a round of applause for all of our candidates for Ward 1. Moving on to City Council, Ward 2. Our first candidate to speak tonight will be Mr. Leon Presley. Let's welcome Mr. Presley.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think about how it was, but how it can be. My name is Leon Presley, and I will be representing Ward 2. I have been living in Millbrook for an extended period of time. It has been a pleasure meeting and talking to the people of Millbrook about this campaign. Just for references, I graduated from Alabama State University with a BS in education, Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan with an MED in education, and Michigan State University with an Advanced Education Administration degree. I spent 35 years affiliated with all phases of education. I spent 6 years as a union representative, 3 years as an administrator of a Synergy program, which was an after-school program which helped kids raise their academic ability levels. Shortly after I got to Millbrook, I used to see plates on the front of a car that said Millbrook First. And that kind of got me to doing brainstorming. Doing that brainstorming, I said, let me see what it is that we can change in our household. We started to purchase groceries in Millbrook, buy gasoline in Millbrook, use the cleaners in Millbrook, worship service in Millbrook. As time went along, we also started trying to use car service in Millbrook, but that was very limited. And as a result of that, there were some other things that we did. We tried to secure car insurance and homeowners insurance in Millbrook. Since we lived here, paid city tax, paid county tax, and paid state tax. Having lived in Michigan, I learned from the Education Association how to become a member of a negotiating team. We negotiated contracts in the range of $50 million for teachers and their benefits. I felt very, very good about this because our kids were going to public schools. And we had no problems once we were secured that their education would be secured and that they could go to public schools and still achieve everything. Now, I know what you want to hear. You want to know what interest do I bring to the table. Number one, there is absolutely no diversity in Millbrook. People of color are left out. The diversity will come about when people who are qualified for jobs are given those jobs, not just because you know somebody or somebody knows somebody and they call you and you give them a job. So up to that point, diversity will never come about. Let's take a look at the golf course. Golf course can be used at this point for kiddie golf training. It can be used for tournaments. Sometimes if you want to achieve, you have to go out and get people instead of just waiting for them to come to you. If you want to have a golf tournament, you need to go to organizations and other people that can use their skills to help you to compete. And if it's not a sufficient amount of income, change that golf course into a park. There is a real need for Boys and Girls Club in the city of Millbrook. Several years ago, there was some discussion on a Boys and Girls Club. And because it didn't come about, the leader of the Boys and Girls Club moved the same issue to Huntsville without an issue at all. Within the city of Millbrook, we can develop some walking and bike trails, develop restaurants along Main Street, and we can even take a look at developing our own sanitation department. We can take a look with experts to devise a 5-year plan to open up a hospital in the city of Millbrook, not having to go to Prattville or Montgomery or Wetumpka or wherever they're located, but right here on the home front. There's also a plan that we devised before I left Michigan that was good for the kids, because we devised a plan to use the school gym where kids in the age range, say from 10 to 15, there were 2 different programs, one for boys and one for girls, where they would come into the gym and compete against each other. This went up to the age of 35, but there were limits put onto them. You couldn't just come in. There were guidelines that were put in place, and it worked out well. The most important thing to me, people, is that from what I've seen as an individual, that the council members and department heads should work together, and the council members should report to the council as to what is going on, and then everybody would be in tune or be kept abreast on what's going on. Now, when I am elected, there are three things that I'm good at: listening, learning, and advocating, and that will be done for the people in the city of Millbrook. Thank you for your time and your efforts.
Our second candidate for Millbrook City Council, Ward 2, is the incumbent in the office, Councilman Michael Gay.
Good evening. I want to start by thanking the Millbrook Men's Club for putting on this forum and this opportunity for us to come and speak. There was a lot of work went in on their part, and appreciate all the work. Brandon, please tell your crew and your team how much we appreciate it. Thank you. The second thing I want to do is thank the citizens of Ward 2 for the honor and the privilege you have given me to serve and represent you this last term. We have worked hard together, and we have done much in Millbrook. If any of you follow my Facebook page, you'll probably all know Carol Bowman, you've talked about it a few times. I always like to say great things are happening. And over the last 4 years, we have had a lot of great things that have happened. Just in this park alone, if you look across the street, this city council, this mayor's term, this opportunity, we built the new city hall. We bought the building, renovated it, and gave the citizens a new city hall. Took the old building and turned it into an economic development center, moved the chamber in, and used that as a catalyst to allow economic growth and planning. Matter of fact, we are all excited about Taco Bell that's opening up. Taco Bell used the Economic Development Center for their interviews. That is just some things here. The very first project that we did on the council is right behind you. We redid the Kids Kingdom Playground. And that was a fun project. Is it me? You. Oh, it's me. Okay. So we did the Kids Kingdom. And then we worked over the next 4 years to lay out a plan. We worked to buy land as opportunity came available to set the stage for future economic growth. Olivia mentioned a new senior center. going to be right over here. We worked on purchasing the properties for it. Then we worked on getting a community development block grant to go in with our own monies to build this. And we're in the final stages to start construction on it so we can give our seniors the opportunity of having their own senior center. We partnered and worked with our community organizations. Welcome. We bought the property that Welcome's on. We fixed the building up. We basically gave them a no-rent facility so that they can turn around and provide more services for the citizens of our community. And especially during this COVID, that has really been nice to see them there to be able to help the citizens of Millbrook. We've been working with the Y for years. Bill Myers had a vision and dream of where the Y could go, and we worked with him and created relationships with our commission, our Board of Education, Economic Development Authority, and from that dreams and that work, 17 Springs has grown. I'm sure everyone has read. This is going to be a facility that is quality state, national level. Kids will be able to come from all over the state and play championship soccer, baseball, softball, football, track and field, tennis, and then indoors in the multiplex, basketball, wrestling, you name it. We can also have large events in this facility too. Our kids at Stanhope can have their proms in Millbrook. That is all part of the dreams of this council. And I've been honored, the council honored me to be their council president. I've worked for the council the last 4 years. And from that, we have all worked together. It's not one person. It's 5 members of that council. It's a mayor. And we all have worked with our partners, built the relationships to serve you. And I hope you will give me the opportunity to come back and continue to serve you. If you need anything, you always just give me a call, send me an email, come by and see me. I thank you again for the opportunity to serve you. I ask that you go out on August 25th and vote for Michael Gay, Ward 2. We'll be voting at the Civic Center. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for the 2 candidates, Mr. Presley and Mr. Gay, for my ward, Ward 2. We move on to the City Council race for Ward 4. We're skipping over 3. Mr. Harris will speak in a few moments, but he does not have an opponent in this race. But Ward 4, we have 2 candidates. The first speaker for the Millbrook City Council, Ward 4, is Ms. Bertha Mae Brown. Ms. Brown, welcome.
Good evening, friends, neighbors, incumbents, and candidates. I am candidate Bertha Brown, a longtime resident of Millbrook residing in Ward number 4. Through the past several years, there have been some business growth in this city, updated and new municipal buildings, securing of land, and the strong possibility of a sports complex soon. All of this is good and needs to be complemented with downtown City of Millbrook entities and beautification. Good council leaders realizing this need must have the vision to move forward, preparing the city for the rapidly evolving future. As your council member, I will not just occupy a given seat from time to time, but will be an involved, participating voice for you, bringing forth your concerns. As a council member, the needs and well-being of my ward will be a priority with me. Working in conjunction with the other wards for the betterment of the city is what I will strive for also. I will be a strong advocate for the equality for all of our citizens. Continue to guide and counsel our youth and try to always set a good example. As a council member, you will find in me a reliable and active partner working for you in our combined desire to make Millbrook the city we can all be proud of. It will be my obligation to interact with you and listen to your concerns. City council members can be the igniting force in moving a well-situated city such as Millbrook to a beautiful, professionally managed municipality. Candidate Bertha Brown supports equality in all job-related areas of the city, supports our educational system where and when we can to nurture future strong candidates. I am an active participant in our city's welfare currently and will continue to do so. I am an experienced local leader who will not ignore the responsibility of the position or the input of you, the people. There should be no over-representation in our city. All voices must be heard. In me, you will have good local leadership acting on your behalf. Changing times demand future-guided visions. Let your voice elect forward and fair-minded leaders. Vote for me, Bertha Brown, a strong local leader. Thank you.
Our next candidate for Ward 4 of the Millbrook City Council is the incumbent in the office, Councilman Justin Jones. Welcome, Mr. Jones.
Thank you guys for being here, and I'd like to say thank you to the Millbrook Men's Club for putting this on for us. I'd also like to thank the people of Ward 4 for serving you for the last 6 years. A little bit about myself. I'm born and raised here in Millbrook, Alabama. Graduated from Stanhope Elmore in 2007. I'm the grandson of Gene and Norma Jones and son of Huey and Emily Jones. Millbrook is family, is how I describe it to people. When you come here and you go around the community, you meet people that genuinely love other people. And so when I tell other people about Millbrook, or I have people come in from, friends that come in from out of town, we describe Millbrook as family. When we go to eat, people come to say hey. Whether they know you or not, we're nice. And that's one thing I love about Millbrook. I'm the 4th generation, and I'm raising the 5th generation here. I'm in the educational system. I taught at Stanhope for 4 years. Now I've moved to Edgewood Academy right down the road. With being in the education system, I get to mentor a lot of kids, and I get to see a lot of probably some of y'all's kids come through the school system and get to be with them every day. Get to be and get to hear what they think of our community, because they're the future of our community. And it is good to hear from them as they are going through high school and going out and about in the community, to know that they feel safe to go out to Sonic, which is the local hangout and always have been, to know that it's just safe to be around everything and have people looking out for them. I'm a firm believer in servant leadership. So servant leadership is being in a leadership position, but you are a servant to the people. And that is what being on the city council is. Being on the city council, we're in a leadership position, but we're here for you. We're here to be your voice. And I look forward to hearing from you guys, emails, texts, phone calls, and all, so I can be your voice to go to the city and to get things done for you guys. I am a former commander for the Sons of the American Legion here in Millbrook. Done a lot of things there. Was the former baseball coach for them until I took my own baseball job somewhere else. I'm still a member there and will always be a member there. I am a member of Casada Baptist Church and thankful that we have leadership there that we can go to church every other Sunday now, as long as we space out. Some of the things that we've been doing around here, I know everybody's glad that Taco Bell's finally coming, and I say finally because the people that's been on the council here the last several years, we've been working pretty hard on that. We have a new senior center being built. We have new subdivisions coming in. The new sports complex coming on the other side of 14, which will bring booming business on there on 14 on the highway front there. Here downtown, we have bought a lot of the property here downtown, and we are currently getting more of the property here, so that way we can build that downtown scene that people want. Because believe it or not, we want it as well. We want to be able to come down here and walk around downtown and stop and shop and stop and eat down here and keep our money here in Millbrook. Again, Millbrook is family. If you've been here long enough, you know that. You know you can go anywhere and everybody knows you or is friendly to you. Again, my name is Justin Jones. I'm the City Councilman for Ward 4, and I please ask for your vote on August 25th to re-elect me. Thank you.
And let's give another round of applause for both of the candidates from Millbrook City Council Ward 4. We do have 2 seats on our city council that are unopposed for this election, and we're going to hear from them now. From Ward 3, we have Councilman Jimmy Harris. Mr. Harris.
Thank you, Reverend Bozeman. Thank you, Men's Club, for putting this on. Thank y'all very much for coming out on this hot night. Last night, about 10 o'clock, I remembered I needed to maybe make a few notes, write my speech. So I got pen and paper out and started working on it. So here's what I came up with. Shouldn't take too long. Do you remember what Henry VIII told his wives? I don't plan on keeping you very long. So that's my plan tonight. You've heard a lot of great speeches so far. You know, after I found out that I didn't have anyone qualified to run against me, I excitedly called my wife. She said, "Well, does this make you a career politician?" And I said without hesitation. I responded, I said, "Politics is not a bad profession. If you succeed, there are many rewards for public service. If you disgrace yourself, you can just write a book." Well, as I moved into my second term, I'd like to think I've moved out of political diapers into pull-ups. The past 4 years have been a real learning experience. Thank you and the citizens of Millbrook for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Most of us have been around for a few years, have learned that most of life is about people. And city government is no different, I've found out. Did you know here in Millbrook that we have over 185 employees? And you know, we've only been incorporated 40 short years. Look at our sister cities and look how long they've been around. I've also come to find out that our city employees are very caring and genuinely love our city. Our department heads have been with us for many years and truly love Millbrook. They are very frugal with the taxpayers' money and provide valuable services to our citizens. There is a real sense of loyalty and teamwork at work here in the Brook. Did you know we've had a balanced budget for over 25 years? Look at some of our sister cities. Look at other cities throughout America. Our city has one of the highest credit ratings of any city in the country. We came through the last financial crisis with flying colors and are in a position today to weather any storm that comes our way. Our city council works hard with the mayor to put personal differences aside and work for the common good of our community. I consider them not only my coworkers, but my good friends. And we put Millbrook first. I could go on, but at last, like Henry VIII. One last thought. Our mayor has plowed the hard ground to set the stage for the success that we're having, and his leadership sets the example for the council. I hope you will consider these things when you go to the poll on the 25th. In close, I'll leave you a thought about government. And this was from President Ronald Reagan. He said the most terrifying words in the English language are, I am from the government and I'm here to help, unless you're from Millbrook. Thank you very much.
I promised Mr. Harris and our next speaker that if they came in under their time, and they've also yielded their final statements later to get us home a little bit earlier, we give them a thunderous round of applause. So shall we? Our final speaker for the 5 minutes upfront speeches is the incumbent in Ward 5. He is unopposed for this and will be serving another term. That is Councilman Hal Hodge. Let's welcome Councilman Hodge.
Thank you, Pastor Bowman. I want to say thank you to the Men's Club for having us out tonight and hosting this event. I also want to thank all of you people out here for braving the heat and coming out and listening to the potential future leaders of Millbrook and what everyone has to say and learn a little bit more about everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Hal Hodge. I'm the current representative for Ward 5. Ward 5 is located north of the city on up Deepsville Highway, Myatt Road areas. I'm running unopposed in this election, therefore I'll be serving another 4 years representing Ward 5. Just want to thank my family for giving me the time to serve on the council, and I really want to thank the residents of Ward 5 for allowing me to serve them another 4 years and being their voice at City Hall. In 2016, when I decided to run for City Council, the main reason I did so, I wanted to make a difference in the community I live in. I wanted to make the quality of life better. Millbrook is already great, but you want to make it better than what it was when you got here. I originally planned to come up here and talk about a lot of the accomplishments that this group has done over the past 4 years, but I think we've already touched on most of those, and it's hot, so we're going to skip on over that and get on to something else. I originally planned to I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and a little bit about Ward 5. I'm a lifelong resident of Millbrook. I grew up playing youth sports, actually just right across the creek right there. Used to be a football field there before the Kids Kingdom and all that came in. But I played there, graduated high school, got a baseball scholarship to continue my education athletic career, finished up at Jacksonville State University, was fortunate enough to get drafted by the Kansas City Royals as a left-handed pitcher. When my baseball career was over, I came back to AUM and obtained a finance degree with an emphasis in business administration. Once I got my degree, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just had a couple of jobs here and there, and finally I got into banking. I've been in banking the last, 20 years, and spent the last 14 years here in Millbrook. Right now I currently work for ASE Credit Union as a commercial lender, and I service all 9 of their branches as their commercial lender. 2012, 2015, I served on the Millbrook Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. 2015, I served as the president of the chamber. I was also a 10-year member of the Millbrook Casada Kiwanis Club, and I currently serve on the Board of Directors for 5 Star Water. For those of you who don't know what 5 Star Water is, we sell pump water to local municipalities to meet the daily needs, water needs for their residents. Just a few things about Ward 5. Over the past 4 years, we've paved numerous streets and roads in the ward. We did part of Deatsville Highway. The county done parts of Deatsville Highway. That was much needed. Added street lights, street signs, and have worked on numerous drainage issues, especially along the Mayoral Road area. The Pines Golf Course is in Ward 5. The late John Price had a vision, and man, was it a vision. This guy's taken that golf course, took out I don't know how many trees up there, got the playing surface in great condition, put in a new irrigation system, and this golf course is a less expensive option than playing the RTJ trails. It's just a nice facility, and it's an added quality of life issue for people looking to live in Millbrook. It's a great course, great facility, and if you haven't played it, you need to get up there and experience it. Last but not least, this council approved the funding for the Legacy Center up at Legacy Park. If you remember, it used to be a trailer up there which is just in rough shape. We built the new facility up there. It hosts HOA meetings, birthday parties, family reunions, weddings, just whatever. If you haven't been up there and been inside that facility, you need to go. Again, thank you to the Men's Club for having this event. Thank you for coming out, and just, that's all I have. Thank you.
And let's give all of our candidates a round of applause. In just a moment, each candidate's going to be given the opportunity to just make some closing comments, very brief closing comments. But before we have our mayoral candidates come up for their closing comments, I want to introduce to you one of the men that made tonight happen, the president, the current president of the Millbrook Men's Club, and also the director, the long-standing, faithful director of our own Grandview YMCA, Mr. Bill Myers. Let's give him a round of applause.
Give Brandon another big round of applause for putting together this event and emceeing this event tonight, would you? Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you and what you've done for the Millbrook Men's Club, and especially for your leadership in our community. Thank you so much. I want to also thank all the members of the Millbrook Men's Club that are here tonight. If you're out there, it's gotten dark, I can't see all of you. Give me a big wave, all the guys in the Men's Club that are here tonight. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Thank you for what you do for our club and our community. So 79 years ago, Mr. Clarence Cowden recognized there was a need for a group of interested and dedicated men who could be involved in the general improvement of living conditions in then a small community of Millbrook, an unincorporated community. He invited 7 other men to dinner to discuss an idea that he had, and the Millbrook Men's Club was born. So we're known, what are we known for? We're known for our 4th of July barbecue, our camp stew, our Labor Day barbecue, and our Labor Day camp stew. But I wanted to give you just a short history of what we use that money for and why we do what we do. Over its 79-year history, the Millbrook Men's Club has raised thousands and thousands of dollars for hundreds and hundreds of projects and organizations in this community. The Men's Club built the Memorial Center right over there on the other side of the creek. We succeeded in bringing phone service to this area, initiated garbage collection in the 1950s. Now, remember, this was all before Millbrook was even incorporated in 1977. Helped bring afternoon mail service to the community in 1952. Purchased a fire truck for the fire department. Helped run water to all areas of the community. I think the roof and the lights for this stage that we're standing on was built by the Men's Club in 1994. There's a plaque right there on that column. The Kids Kingdom Playground was built with the help of the Men's Club. We've helped the Millbrook Police Department in several ways, buying some uniforms, buying some extra radios for the police department, and installing a fallen police officer memorial in front of the police department. And then the club sponsors events at the Alabama Wildlife Federation, the YMCA, local sports leagues, that kind of thing. Annual donations are made to our schools, to our libraries, and scholarships are given out to graduating seniors through the Central Alabama Community Foundation. So with that being said, as long as you keep buying our barbecue and our camp stew, it's coming up on Labor Day, just a few weeks away, right over there on the other side of the creek. Buy your barbecue and your camp stew. As long as you keep buying that barbecue and camp stew, we will keep supporting the community like we've done for the last 79 years. Thank you so much.
Now, each candidate for each office is going to be invited up to make a very brief closing remarks. They'll be invited up in the reverse order for each office as they run from where they first spoke. So we'll begin again with our mayoral candidates, and our first speaker is the incumbent, Mayor Al Kelly.
Thank you, Brandon, and thank you, Bill, for that great history of the Men's Club. You know, we're going to continue to stress what we've stressed since day one, quality of life. The things that Bill brought up about the Men's Club and the things they've done to improve our quality of life started many, many years ago. We have done our best to try and keep it that way as long as we could. Nothing pleases me more to see you happy. Nothing. I want to just show you an article today. You can see it on the Facebook, whatever. I didn't have nothing to do with this. Millbrook, this is an article from 24/7 Wall Street. This is an article that says that Millbrook, because of our tax rate, because of our housing, because of our businesses, because of you, the city of Millbrook is named the #1 city in Alabama, best city to live in. I just can't stress enough, you know, the things that we try to do each and every day. This council and all the councils that preceded those, all the mayors that preceded me, we all had the same vision. That vision was to make our place as good a place to live as we could possibly make it. We wasn't looking for this or that. You know, we were looking to make it a great place to live. Because of their leadership and because of these councils' leadership, we've grown tremendously. Our budget has gone from $2 million in that first year in 1996, where we didn't have money to even pay the insurance. We'd have to borrow money from Joe Lott and the bank to have to pay our insurance each year. Now our revenues are close to $15 million a year. We've got a tremendous, just a tremendous organization. I can't speak highly enough of the people at City Hall, the department heads, the employees. That's what makes it. Those guys out there picking up those limbs, those guys answering that telephone, those guys making sure your commode flushes. I can't stress it enough. I'm proud to be your mayor. I hope to have it 4 more years. I ask for your vote and your support on August the 25th. Go Millbrook. Thank you.
Our next speaker is the second candidate for the office of Mayor of Millbrook, Mr. Tim Love. Mr. Love, welcome.
Yep. There are 2 candidates on stage vying for your vote to become Millbrook mayor. One is a career politician, the other is a political upstart. It's that political upstart who sought out subject matter experts in various fields in an effort to get an unbiased pulse of the issues facing our beloved city. From politics to diversity to growth, as well as the crime and drugs that have grown exponentially under my opponent's 24-year tenure. I took all that information and formulated it into a campaign to not let the career politician just walk back into office unopposed again. What does my opponent do? He tells me in a private meeting that he has a stack of stuff to throw out there on me when the time is right. An elected official sitting in his elected office, at the very least trying to intimidate his political opponent. Career politics 101, right? Ladies and gentlemen, career politicians are all the same. They sit around thinking that their name will get them reelected. They drive narratives for reelection, whether true or fluff. The signs, the ads, and the fluffing stuff become paramount at election time. Don't let the fluff by a career politician 30 days before election overshadow the reality of the last 10 to 12 years. Remember the Millbrook Business Park? There was a lot of fluffing stuff went into that event. Today, it's Camden's Cove, a residential neighborhood. I believe much of the latest fluffing stuff will magically disappear just like that business park did once this election is over. On August the 25th, I'm asking that you please vote for Tim Love for Millbrook Mayor. I want to thank the Millbrook Men's Club for hosting this event. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time this evening. May God bless you and keep you safe, and may God bless the city of Millbrook. Thank you.
Let's give both our mayoral candidates a hand. For Ward 1, we have brief closing comments. First, from
to using my time, my energy, and my resources to continue further the development and growth of our city, Millbrook, Alabama. And then the second thing that I want to leave you with is that when you go to the polls, I want you to think about the candidate who is committed, the candidate who has the experience, the candidate who is prepared to lead you. And I go back to the premises of my campaign, which is I am experienced to serve, I am educated to lead, and I have the passion for our community. I love Millbrook, and I want to serve you as your city councilwoman for Ward 1, Joyce Lloyd Davis. Thank you.
next we invite Ms. Jacqueline Thomas, also candidate for Millbrook City Council Ward 1. Ms. Thomas.
Once again, I am Jacqueline Long Thomas. I am asking for your support on August 25th and your vote. The one thing that I don't have that the other candidates have is experience. But a lot of times, guys, a word called passion overrides experience. And what I bring to this table, is my passion and my love for this community. And the care that I take in taking care of your kids every day is the same care and the love that I have for this city of Millbrook. So if you will choose me to represent you on August the 25th, I promise you that I will give you everything that I have. Service is what I do. If you know me, then you know that I'm always of service to other people, and I always put other people's needs before my own. And that's what I'll do in Ward 1. I'll make sure I'm used to working with diverse people. I'm a teacher, of course, that's diverse as it comes. So there's a lot of different personalities. I'm easy to work with. I'm easy to talk to. I look forward to being a part of the process of continuing the growth in Millbrook. And I'm just asking you guys today to just allow me to serve you. And at the end of the day, like I said when I started, I'm just an ordinary woman, but I do have an extraordinary vision for the city of Millbrook. I appreciate your time, and I would appreciate your vote on August 25th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. And finally, for Millbrook City Council Ward 1, the incumbent, Councilwoman Olivia Venable.
Hello again, and thank you all again for coming out to this forum. It's been really, really nice to have such a nice venue. I want to say that on my first 5 minutes, I missed something very important, and that is I've been married now 40 years to the same man, and I have 3 beautiful grandchildren and 1 son. Got to go home tonight, so I had to say that. When I tell you nothing pleases me more than being helpful to other people, my heart is full when I can help somebody. That lets me know then that what is inside of me, I can share with other people. And that's what I've tried to do for the past 5 years. When you get to know me, you'll know that I will always tell you the truth, not just what is politically correct. Because if we can start out with the basis of truth, then we can end up with a real good solution for everybody involved. So in August 25th, 2020, think about it when you go to the polls. Olivia Venable, Representative Ward 1, who is so grateful for the past 5 years and would be so ecstatic and ready to serve you all for another 4. I thank you again, and we really would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Next, we have the 2 candidates for Millbrook City Council, Ward 2. Our first closing comments will be by the incumbent, Councilman Michael Gay. Councilman Gay.
I wanted to close and tell you how we got to Millbrook. 16 or 17 years ago, my wife and I were driving around Millbrook and trying to decide. We had a Chase, my son was a little baby. Amber was 2.5, 3 years old, and we were trying to make a decision where was going to be our forever home. That home where you're going to raise our kids. We went into our neighborhood, and it was only 2 houses in that neighborhood. And we were looking at this brand new house that was in front of us and looking around the neighborhood, and there weren't any other houses, and like, I don't know, you know. And we're sitting there in the front yard looking at it, standing there, and a police officer stops and says, gets out of his car, introduces himself, starts to tell us everything about this neighborhood, and says, hey, this is new, this is this. Oh, yeah, this is going to be houses, it's great, blah, blah. Started telling us about this park and telling us all about Millbrook. Jennifer and I left that day, and we knew where we wanted to live. We knew where our forever home was. We knew where we wanted to raise our children. Now my daughter's in college, my son is a junior, and we want this, when they get their education, we want them to come back in this Millbrook to be their forever home and to raise their children. I want this to be the place where my grandchildren grow up. This is their forever home. You want to know what motivates me as your city councilman, what makes me work to grow our future and make sure it's a quality of life? is that. It's been a beautiful place to raise our children, and I want it to be a beautiful place to raise my children, to raise their children and their children. I ask for your vote on August 25th. I'm Michael Gay. I'm your city councilman, Ward 2. We vote at the Civic Center. Thank you again for letting me serve you.
And our final speaker for Millbrook City Council, Ward 1, is Mr. Leon Presley. Welcome back, Mr. Presley. Ward 2, that's my ward, I should know it. Ward 2. Thank you, Mr. Presley.
Well, I don't have any fancy words. I just want to say that I'm a man of my word, and I am soliciting your vote. We have true family values, and since they have been spoken earlier, my granddaughter drove up from Tallahassee today just so she could be here because her father couldn't close his business down until after this was over. So it's not like we're in different locations and we're separated from each other. We have true family values, and I'm not looking to be a lifetime politician, because when you're in it too long, you start owing people. And I'm the person that's going to speak the truth, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether you do it or not. I'm going to put it out there, and it's up to you at that point what you want to do. But I am soliciting your vote on August the 25th, and if you indeed think I'm capable of it, I will appreciate your vote.
Our final two closing comments tonight come from the candidates for Ward 4. Our first closing comment from Ward 4 will be by the incumbent Councilman Justin Jones. Councilman Jones.
Hey, in closing, just want to talk more about the quality of life we have here in Millbrook. We have hotels coming here. We have a new sports complex that will be on the other side of Highway 14 that I've already mentioned. Those of y'all that know me and those of y'all that don't know me, I am huge with the youth. The youth is our future here. We got to have something for them to do and something to keep them out of trouble. And what better way than that than sports? We have a great City League program going here, and with softball here. We have teams coming from everywhere to play softball here in Millbrook, which brings financial stability to Millbrook. Again, we got more great things coming down the pipeline for Millbrook. A hint on what we have coming in the future for downtown, some more buildings, and a nice place to walk around after a long day at the ballpark down here playing. You go grab a quick bite to eat. Again, I love this place. I'm not going anywhere. This is where I'll raise my kids, and hopefully where my kids will raise their kids. We've been here for a while, and we plan to stay. Our roots are deep here. On closing, I wish for y'all to come vote for me on August 25th, and I'd love to run another 4 years here. Thank you.
And our final closing comments tonight will come from the other candidate for Millbrook City Council Ward 4, Miss Bertha May Jones. Miss Bertha May Brown, I'm sorry. Two mistakes. Miss Brown, welcome back. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I didn't know if I should turn around and go sit down there for a moment. To Mr. Brandon Bowman and the Millbrook Men's Club, thank you for the opportunity to address the residents of the city, and good luck to all the candidates. I would like to leave you with this thought. Now bear with me for a while. As the teacher was questioning her student who was furiously completing her class project of painting a picture, she said, "Bertha, what are you painting a picture of?" The young girl answered, still working furiously on her project, "I'm painting a picture of God," she said. The teacher said to her gently, "Oh no, dear, no one has ever seen God." The little girl, Bertha, answered, "They will in a moment." With that said, I leave you with this. You will see a good local leader in me. Vote for Bertha Brown, Ward 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Thank you very much. And let's give all of our candidates, to have all 11 candidates commit to coming out tonight as a wonderful thing and a testimony to their desire to serve you well. Let's give them all a round of applause. I will encourage everybody to get out and vote, as has been said several times tonight, on Tuesday, August the 25th. Now, understand that your polling place for municipal elections is not necessarily the same place you will go and vote for federal elections. So please check the paper, check online, check with City Hall, check with your representatives and the candidates tonight to make sure you know where to go and vote on August the 25th. On behalf of the Millbrook Men's Club, thank you for coming out, and God bless Millbrook and the United States of America.